We spent the day at Tech Talent North Toronto, which was organized by TAP Network that took place last month on October 24th. I sat down with many HR leaders in the Canadian tech space to talk to them about what they're thinking about and focusing on in their work. Here is what they had to say. Check it out.
I'm Jeff Waldman, the host of the Unmuted podcast, and so I have some more guests here at the Tech Talent North conference in downtown Toronto. It's the annual conference for HR in Tech, and that is put on by the TAP Network organization. So I have Erin Ashton here with me. Erin's a longtime contact, longtime friend too. She's with a company out of Toronto called Resolver. They're a tech company, and so was able to coerce her into doing this. So thanks, Erin, for being here. So what are, maybe just talk a bit about maybe the couple of things that are sort of top of mind for you in HR. Obviously, HR has been at the forefront of all organizations for, the last 3+ years, and it's been really challenging. So is there something that comes to mind as you go through the rest of this year and maybe into next year that you're sort of thinking about focusing on?
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah. I would say, I've been doing a lot of reflection recently just on the HR profession overall. I'm 15+ years into my career at this point, generally in the tech space, and so much, to your point, has changed in the last 3 to 5 years, and our role as HR professionals has really, really evolved in terms of what that looks like. I think top of mind for me right now, as I kind of reflect on 2023 and think of 2024, is where are employees at, both from a personal standpoint and a professional standpoint? How are we looking at the economic environment that is surrounding us and what that really means from an engagement standpoint, so on and so forth, and what we're likely to see in 2024, and a lot of trending information is going towards we might see a little bit more in terms of voluntary resignations next year.
Right.
Maybe we weren't really seeing that in 2023, and so it's about how do you plan for that and how do you prepare leaders for what might come based on what we're hearing and seeing from an industry trend standpoint.
There's been a lot of conversation here today, personally, that I've had around HR being very reactive, which, it's not new. It's not something that is new over the last 3 or 4 years, but it's really hard to be proactive when things are changing every other day. So, so you've been here all day at this conference. So is there anything that has sort of, stood out to you in terms of learning?
Yeah, I think, the nature of our roles being reactive won't go away, but it's finding those key pockets to be able to really work with leaders and strategize and plan where possible. So more finding the balance of the two versus getting rid of the reaction altogether. And I think with that comes a really important thing around caring for ourselves personally. As HR professionals, I think we lose sight of that. We always have to kind of focus on how we keep employees happy, how we keep a business running. But Norm actually had a great session, a great keynote just after lunch there around how we really take care of ourselves and how we prioritize our own well-being. So for me, that was one of my key takeaways among, all of the other HR topics that we've heard today.
So that's another sort of interesting thing too. Obviously, HR has been tasked with leading organizations through all of this chaos and change, but they're also dealing with it too. So It's not, it's kind of like a double-edged sword. So what do you do to, take care of your mental health and your well-being?
Yeah, I like to think that I do a pretty good job of it, to be quite frank with you. I have a dog. I walk my dog for...
Is it a COVID dog?
She is not. She's a pre-COVID dog. I got her in December 2019, but truly I always say I would have never gotten through the pandemic without my dog. So when I'm working from home, I take a break whenever that may fall in the middle of the day, even if it's 10, 15 minutes to go and throw the ball, I go outside. Middle of winter, middle of summer, whatever it is. That is my break and my recharge through the day.
Cool.
Yeah.
And that's very, very simple and straightforward. It's not huge, but it does make a big difference, for you. And I actually agree with that, doing small things to kind of break up the day, which is great. So, Erin, thank you for being here.
Thanks.
It's always good to chat with you.
Appreciate it. And happy birthday. Don't Don't edit that out.
Happy 32nd birthday to me. All right, Erin, thank you very much. All right.